TikTok is back.
What?
I just wanted to get on here and say a personal thank you to the president who's responsible for getting TikTok back for us. Thanks, Obama.
Ni hao! Alrighty, we are back, but we are not the same.
Call me skeptical, but I don't trust this shit. I don't.
Thank you. You brought my job back? Yes. You brought my life back? Yes.
I'd like to have you amazing viewer at Comfortful. I appreciate your immense love and massive support. Thank you. And we are here to look into this TikTok back and forth. Yeah, TikTok was gone, it's back, and you're seeing people are now criticizing, they're thinking critically concerning this TikTok ban and coming back. So we are here to look into Americans' perspectives and how they view the whole situation. Okay, Americans are back and they're not the same, but is the app the same? So we're going to dive deep into that. Americans are giving their views and how they view the whole situation of TikTok going dark for a while and then it's back, and then there's this President Trump, who is the TikTok savior, giving people back their jobs on TikTok since he had employed them. Yes, and yeah, we are here to dive into that. So yeah, take a listen.
You Dems are pissing me off today, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. Number 1, your misinformation about the TikTok ban. Let's go over what happened. Because I see you guys saying all over TikTok, you're copy-pasting this one sentence, saying that a narcissist will love bomb by giving you something, then taking it away, then giving it back and claiming victory. That's not what happened. Let's go through what really happened. Back in 2020, there was a potential security breach for TikTok for American users. What does that mean? They didn't know who was storing the data, they didn't know where this data was going, and it was thought that at the time, China was stealing data. So at this time in 2020, when Trump was in office, he said, if there is a security breach, I'd like to ban the app from American users. I don't want my Americans being at risk for this app. I don't want their security being breached. I don't want any issues. I'm going to ban this app. I'm going to make it happen. But then what happened? This is what you guys are leaving out. In 2020, the same year, Oracle goes into business with TikTok. Oracle is a tech company. They are based in Austin, Texas. They are American made. They become the cloud storage for TikTok, meaning that the data isn't being stored with TikTok anymore. It's stored in Austin. It's home again, or it's home now, I should say. So Trump, after already compiling this executive order, doesn't do anything with the law, because he sees now it's partially the storage now, right? The storage, not the app, is American owned and American stored. So the worry goes away. Now that it's part of America, it's called Project Texas. He said, all right, not a priority anymore, left the EO alone, nothing happened, no law was signed into place. Come April 2024, Joe Biden signs the law anyway. It went untouched for 4 years after Oracle went into business with TikTok. Joe Biden comes into office, and 4 years later, again, law hasn't been touched in 4 years, he signs it anyway. Why? So that's the first point, okay? Because you're wrong. It's not that he started this and then took it away and then gave it back so everyone would kiss his ASS. It was that he saw a security threat as to where our user data was being stored. America then goes into business for our storage, which is a win. That's good. It's American owned now. So then the threat's gone. The worry's gone. And he doesn't touch the law. Joe Biden then 4 years later actually signs the law into place. So off the bat, you guys are spreading this misinformation that just is not intellectually honest at all. It's not correct. Objectively incorrect. And this is congressional data. This is not Forbes.com or People Magazine. This is Congressional House of Representatives data. You can fact check me at every point. The second reason you guys are pissing me off, let's get into this one, is that you guys, forget Oracle, right? You guys are acting like a president can't change his mind, because it seems like when Democratic presidents change their mind, it's like, okay, that's so valid. They have to keep up with current events. But when Trump does it, he's a narcissist, love bombing you. A few examples. Obama campaigned for 6 months on securing abortion rights for women. Once he was elected and went into office, years later, he was asked, are you going to do this? And he said, it's not at the highest priority. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. Changed his mind. I didn't hear your outrage then. We have Joe Biden. He opposed gay marriage for years, back in 2007, 2008, 2009. He spoke very negatively about gay marriage, didn't like it at all, whatsoever. He asked multiple times when asked about gay marriage laws, why is this such a concern for Americans? We have real issues going on. This is not a concern of mine. Pretty much saying, I don't give a shit. And now he's pro-LGBTQ, all about DEI hires. He changed his mind. Kamala Harris gets on national TV and says, I will never be getting a vaccine that Donald Trump endorses. Ever. I'll never get it. If he's saying it, I don't want it. A month later, back on TV, endorsing the vaccine. The very same vaccine. She changed her mind. Why is it okay when a Democratic president does that, but Trump, after 5 years, rethinks a thing or two? Is that not allowed? Is it only allowed when your party does it, not Republicans? I'm confused. And the third reason I'm pissed off is because I see y'all complaining about who's gonna buy TikTok and what's gonna happen to our free speech. I didn't hear you saying that the last 4 years when your administration, Biden and Harris, were censoring every other app known to mankind. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter before it was X. This is known knowledge. Yeah, it was appealed in the Supreme Court, but they were found guilty. Fifth Circuit Court, 3-judge panel, unanimous vote, guilty as charged for censoring speech, First Amendment violation. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Zuckerberg still talks about it years later to this day, that he was very, very pressured. And I trust him as far as I can throw him, but he's had the same testimony for years. Where was your outpour of rage back then? Or is it only rage when a Republican might buy an app and your speech might be affected, even though this is just speculation? No one's proving anything. You're just guessing and assuming because you hate them. But when Biden and Harris do it, it's okay. It's for the greater good. It's for safety. I didn't know Biden or Harris went to medical school. I didn't know Mark Zuckerberg went to medical school. Who were they to censor PhD doctors, Harvard and Yale educated doctors on the vaccine? Why was that up to them? Why was it okay? Why didn't you say anything? But now you want to piss and moan now. Again, when nothing's even happened yet. You're just speculating. So here's what I'm going to leave you with. Those are my 3 reasons. But here's what I'm going to leave you with. Your objectivity is gone. Your credibility is gone. You are showing pure immaturity. Immaturity. You were upset about TikTok going away, all these people and their jobs going away, these small business owners, these artists, these creators losing their jobs, losing their platforms. They work so hard, they get great exposure. Please someone help, please someone save it. Oh, but it was Trump. How could we spin this into a bad thing? Just say thank you. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop being unable to be objective. I don't care about your opinion of Trump. I don't care if you love him or hate him. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is, though, to make sure you guys know the truth and you remember the truth in the real world and in yourselves, because it's embarrassing now. You are losing your reputation by the day. How you behaved after the election, reputation already gone. Now how you're behaving with this, reputation even further gone. You left your reputation miles back and then expect to start persuading people to win elections. They're not joining you. And this is why. This is why you keep asking. Maybe it's not because 80 million Americans are uneducated and crazy and racist and homophobic and misogynist. Maybe it's because this is your behavior. Anything this man does, you put a negative spin. But if Biden and Harris did it, just say thank you and scroll the app. You're welcome.
Oh, look at that. TikTok's back. It's great, right? It's great. I'm happy for a lot of people. But also, I am Jack's unbridled rage. This stunt, and make no mistake about it, this was a stunt. When TikTok shuts down the app and in its shutdown notice praises Donald Trump for saving them, it's a stunt. And this stunt is a loss to the Democratic Party that I think may surpass Kamala Harris losing the election. But some of us, very few, but some of us remember that this whole banning TikTok thing started with him. That he got pissed off that a bunch of kids used TikTok to organize and make it look like thousands and thousands of people were coming to a rally for him. So his ego couldn't stand it. He got out and bragged about how he's going to have record numbers there, and then showed up and almost no one was there. That pissed him off so fucking much that he went to shut down the app, and it didn't work. In the meantime, however, they figured out, wait, we're good about using alternative media. The right is very good. They've been investing in that for years, and they invested in TikTok, and it paid off. Turning Point USA claims that in the days leading up to the election, they were doing 60 million views a day on their content because they had people backing it and pushing it and supporting it and sharing it. Meanwhile, TikTok hates me, like the company hates me. I have almost 7 million followers, tons of articles, refuses to verify me, has instructed moderators to target and suppress me. This is from a conversation I had with a moderator. So you can confirm the company is not a fan of mine. I'm actually quite sure of it. Your name has crossed the servers over here numerous times. This is what I dealt with. And despite that, I built a platform and I built a following, despite no fucking help from the Dems or anyone on the left. A bunch of us built it with our own blood, sweat, and tears. And then they just gave this beach ball to Donald Trump and the right to be like, look, we're fucking saving TikTok. And for everyone who thinks I'm mad because I'm losing some sort of revenue, I don't make shit from this. I'm mad because other people are harmed by it. That's the reality. I will never fucking forget this. We can't go after every politician who supported it because some of them were just fucking morons and you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I promise you, the people who did this, the people who championed this bill, who made it like their mission to do this, I don't give a fuck what letter is in front of your name. I am going to do everything in my power to use my significant influence to make sure you lose your next election. Because if you won't listen to us when we fucking whisper, you can listen to the door slam as we push you out.
Now, Donald Jackie Trump, don't think you want us. Don't think we on your side now. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Donald. But we still don't like you. You're still Donald Trump at the end of the day. We didn't forget shit you did. We didn't forget. We appreciate you. Thank you. You brought my job back. Yes. You brought my life back. Yes. I don't have to be employed anymore. Yes. Fuck you. You don't know. You didn't win us. You didn't win shit.
Alrighty, we are back, but we are not the same. And the way that things came together in the last 24 hours has me much more shook about what the future of information in America looks like. So first of all, I just want to talk about some of the factual things that happened. So I am a director of IT. I have a career working in technology. I am married to a software developer. We are not idiots about technology. So when I was preparing for the ban, one of the things that I made sure that I had was a working VPN, which at this point I would really encourage all Americans out there to be looking into using a VPN if you want to get accurate information going into the oligarchy that we are moving very quickly into. So I had originally expected that this would be like a lot of other software bans in the United States, where if you're using a VPN, which means that you are obfuscating your IP address and it looks like you are in another country, that you can use the applications that are legal in those countries. So in using a VPN, now I was warned last night that VPNs weren't going to work, so that was new information. And sure enough, they didn't. But what I didn't understand was how interconnected everything is. So I am an iPhone user, which is a more closed platform, though there are a lot of reasons why I personally prefer the Apple iOS over the Android platform. Not going to go into that right now. I have TikTok through the App Store. I knew that it would be pulled from the App Store. So for example, if I delete it off of my phone, cannot re-download it. So that was not news to me. What I had not thought of is that my Apple ID, which is not what I use to log into this, would be tied to the app both on my phone and in a web browser on my computer. That was interesting information to learn as well. So TikTok also disabled the ability to access through the web in the US. And just interesting tidbit of information, they apparently use Microsoft Edge as their servers. Not really surprising, but I just want to share information right now. So what I would have to do to use TikTok as an American who's under like the Apple umbrella would be to change my region in the App Store. And that's doable. Apple actually released a whole article telling you like, hey, if you are a TikTok user, you can change your region. So doing that in addition to using a VPN, I would be able to access TikTok. Here are the catches. I am an Apple One subscriber. They would force me to cancel my subscription because that is a subscription that's available in the United States, not in necessarily in other countries. And the terms are going to be different in other countries. And then on top of that, TikTok will not allow you to access your US account because that data is on the servers that they would not allow people to access. So I could join using a VPN from another country with my app store changed to a different region, and I can start a whole brand new account. Too many hoops for a social media app. But it also shows how much thought went into getting us disconnected, doesn't it? And then there's a lot of other rumors that are going around. You know, Meta and TikTok have had a connection for a while, so I'm not really on board with the idea that because Meta has been so glitchy in the past few days and people were being asked for their Facebook logins in TikTok, I'm not convinced that TikTok is being sold to Meta directly. I do think Meta was releasing tools to try to be able to move data from TikTok because they want to grab the TikTok audience now. And Meta has always connected with being able to see your contacts, which personally is a feature I do not turn on. I do not allow TikTok to see my contacts. And for security reasons, I recommend you consider that as well. But we do need to be looking at the fact that when Trump is inaugurated tomorrow, Zuckerberg, Musk, and Mr. TikTok billionaire CEO, who we also are not like buddies with, right? They are all going to be up there at the inauguration. We also can't overlook the fact that all of our national media, including the ones like MSNBC that did not play cozy with Trump in the first term, they have all met with Trump, like right after he won the election. And he has them in his pocket. He has all of the United States social media in his pocket. We are obviously looking at heading into an age of disinformation, misinformation like we have never seen it. I would call this our digital dark age that we're moving into. We need to find ways to stay connected as people, especially people who are against the ideals of this oligarchy. We need to find ways to stay connected. So please spread out your wings, spread out your branches, make sure your content is available in places that are not just owned by the US and also places that are not owned by Meta or Musk, because that is where I'm putting my money that TikTok is going to go. This 90-day stay is so that Trump can broker a deal so that TikTok will be owned. I'm putting my money on Musk, but owned by one of our American billionaires. That is not fact. That is what I believe is going to happen. And once again, the plea I continue to say on here is find your local communities as well. We are going to be challenged in ways that in my lifetime I have not seen. So we need to have those physical people as well, because this little screen that we're on, it is under a lot of control right now, and it can be shut down at any point. Keep fighting, friends. There is still always hope. There is still always humanity. And I will see you soon.
Hello, yes, hello to you, TikTok refugees. So, what happened? I heard Red is now the first trend on TikTok. Oh my god, poor you. Yes, it's very welcome to join Red.
To all of these people being like, Red Book is just Chinese propaganda. Yeah, I mean, probably. But like, guess what also is propaganda? American social media. We don't exactly show the gritty truth on our social media either. We put filters over our lives here as well and present that as truth too. So yeah, probably. I'm not sure I care though, because what I refuse to accept is propaganda, is human kindness and compassion. Because if I believe that the kindness and compassion of others is propaganda, then what is the point of being on this spinning marble hurling through space? What is the point of this all? I think you should always be skeptical of any perspective presented to you. You take various different perspectives, you take a lot of them, you gather as much data as possible to come to the conclusion of what may be the closest thing to truth collectively. But that kind of information is not what's touched me. What has touched me truly is the kindness and compassion that people have shown for Americans when, frankly, Americans, I'm not sure collectively, have earned that level of kindness and compassion being showed to them. But the day I believe a person just being a human with me is propaganda, what is this all for? Thank you for coming to my fucking TED Talk. Have a fucking day.
See, it was all good when it was all good, but now a bitch is getting aware. I'm too aware. This little Redbook app has me too aware. And I can't go back once I start knowing shit. Our government, quite frankly, does not fuck with us. And we knew this. We knew this. I knew this. You knew this. But being on the Redbook app is putting it into visual perspective. It's putting it into visual perspective. Do you see how the Chinese are living, guys? America is considered the leader of the world stage, yet we have one of the most highest homelessness population rates compared to other underdeveloped countries. Do y'all remember a few years back when there were so many videos of Chinese people having to live in storage container units because of the homelessness or because of the population? Yeah, I'm here to let you know that the homelessness rate in China is 0.18%. 0.18%, and their population is 1.4 billion people. Here in America, our population is 32 million, and we have a homelessness rate of 2.04.
The acute problem here in the United States is that we have still 57 million Americans who don't have any savings or any retirement plan.
2.04. That's roughly about 700,000 people. America is the only developed country in the world that does not provide some form of universal health care. In China, 95% of its population is covered by basic health insurance. Their health insurance is provided through government-supported or mandated health insurance policies and plans. Here in America, majority of our health care comes through private sectors, meaning a lot of us have to pay a premium. We have to pay out of pocket. In China, they don't have annual property tax. So once you pay off your mortgage, that's it. It's yours. The land is yours. It's yours. You lose your job today, you have a place to stay. In America, and we're still dealing with a housing crisis that our government doesn't want to do anything about, but they want to take away TikTok because through TikTok, we find out how much they're fucking us over. The Chinese government has more policies put into place to make their residents become owners rather than keep them as long-term, lifelong renters. Whether it's vehicles or housing, they have more of the chance, more of the possibility of being an owner than the average American. And y'all heard how I said 95% of their population is covered under basic health insurance, right? 95% of 1.4 billion people. Here in America, we have 8% of our population that does not have health insurance. In numbers, that is 2.56 million people who do not have health insurance here in America. But we're paying taxes though. Y'all are increasing taxes. Yet we have 2.56 million people walking around without basic health insurance. And don't get me started on their goods. Don't get me started on their goods. Have y'all seen their electric cars that are under $10,000? Some of them are under $10,000 and they're outperforming any luxury car that we have here in the United States. I just saw a car get fully submerged in water and still performing. Yet we have this fucking eyesore of a fucking tank called the Cybertruck that's catching on fucking fire if it gets overheated. This shit is making me too hot. It's making me too hot. Like, I'm dead ass. Luigi's game about to be multiplayer. Because what the fuck? What the actual fuck are you guys doing over there? Y'all forgot that y'all work for us? Why don't we have universal health care yet? We are the only developed country in the world that doesn't have some sort of fucking universal health care. Why? We are really a third world country with a Gucci belt, bitch. We don't even have the Gucci belt. It's Fucci. It's Fucci. Everything is fake. Everything is fucking fake. We have a housing crisis. We can't afford groceries. Our kids are getting shot up in schools. You're taking away the autonomy rights of women because you want to force us to fucking have kids because you want to make sure that your future companies have fucking workers. Y'all literally... And now y'all want to take away TikTok. I hope TikTok is the 13th reason. I hope it's the fucking 13th reason and these motherfuckers start to revolt on y'all asses. I really do hope that Luigi's game becomes multiplayer. Dead ass.
So another question. Why don't you guys just use Instagram? Why don't you use Instagram? There is somebody said you are just fighting against the US government, right? And you refuse to use US app. Is that correct? Or because of Meta? What's the relationship of Meta? Oh, yes. Wow, you're so amazing. You're so amazing.
I think part of what Mark Zuckerberg, Meta, doesn't realize make Facebook, Instagram so uninteresting. Why people won't go back, even if they exactly copy TikTok, even if they add in all of the features of TikTok into Instagram, Facebook, is that these apps are just inherently hindered because they are legacy apps. Take, for example, Instagram. Because people have had it so long, there are pre-existing social norms. Instagram has become essentially like LinkedIn, but for looking cool. It's your resume for looking like you're a cool person who has a cool life. And because of those pre-existing norms, even if the app had the exact same functionality, people would not post the same things. TikTok started off cringe. Not a lot of people used it. A lot of people's friends weren't on the app, so they felt more comfortable sharing parts of their life that are maybe more embarrassing or more cringe, but relatable to a certain set of people. TikTok became more popular, but because that social norm of oversharing had already been established, people see other people doing that and they feel more comfortable doing it themselves. The culture around Instagram is much more surface level. It's not as socially acceptable to put yourself out there. I mean, look at the comment section. TikTok versus Reels. And because of the cultural history attached to Instagram, what people are used to doing on Instagram, they will never treat it like TikTok. Even if Meta included features that were an exact replica of TikTok. People love TikTok because they crave authenticity. And Instagram, Facebook are the antithesis of authenticity. People spent years crafting their fake, curated lives on there. So if TikTok gets banned, people are not going to fall back on Meta. They're going to look for a new app, such as Rednote.
And y'all know what? They over there on Facebook and Instagram doing exactly what y'all said they was gonna do. They over there talk about some now TikTok is gone. People can start reading books. As if we don't have book talk. They got people reading hundreds of thousands of books. Got people starting book clubs. Got people finding authors that they never knew about. Black authors getting exposure that they never got before. I don't know another platform where reading is being promoted the way that it is on Book Talk. I can assure you people on Facebook and Instagram are not reading as much as the people on TikTok and Book Talk. And they talk about some now people can get real jobs because the Indeed app still work. As if people are not on TikTok showing you a day in the life of their career. We got doctors and engineers and nurses and educators and principals and blue collar workers, from truck drivers to electricians to plumbers, showing you a day in the life of their career and also giving you the steps if you choose to take that route with your career on how you can too become whatever it is that you want to become. As if we don't have study talk, where people are on here showing you their study routines and their notes and how they get, how they're passing their class. As if we don't have a real community being built on here, because they're on there saying, oh, now people can really get off the internet and build a community. As if TikTok doesn't have a community. As if people are not coming together through shared experiences. and connecting and finding solutions. As if people are not on here giving advice, life coaches, got people changing their whole lives, the way they eat, the way they think, the way they dress, how they present themselves to the world. You have women on here building their confidence. You have single mothers on here using TikTok as a platform to keep them from being a struggling single mothers. You got single mothers that are no longer struggling, or single parents. You got men on here cleaning up. You got men on here going to the grocery store. You got men on here loving their wives and their children and being family men. Things that we don't see anywhere else. Yet they over there on Facebook and TikTok being miserable.
Now that Americans are back on TikTok, what are the major changes that they're experiencing on TikTok? Check this out.
I've never had my DMs get flagged. Never had my DMs.
The exact same thing happened to me, and not only did they flag my DMs, they gave me a strike on my account, which is why right now, like, I can't even send or receive DMs on this page. And I've put in a trouble ticket, I've emailed them, I appealed it, and then they rejected my appeal and said that they did fine. And I'm like, in the two messages that they flagged, I'm like, there was absolutely nothing in those messages that deserved to be flagged, but they flagged them anyway. So I don't know what the fuck is going. It's like, personally, I feel like it's an attack on my account or attack on accounts. I don't get it. I'm like, if you want to just kick me out of the rewards program, if you're just looking for a reason to kick me out of the rewards program, like, bro, you could have thought of something better. You could have thought of something better. Like, my messages? Come on.
If the government bans TikTok, I'm not going to pay my taxes. I said it. TikTok is my job, all right? I get money from this. Last year, the money that I earned from TikTok, I paid taxes on it. This year, I'm not doing that, all right? If you can't take away my job and then still demand taxes, that's not how this works, all right?
Okay, I don't ever post this type of content, but something bad happened while we were gone. Because if you're like me and you got this app back and you were immediately like, something's off here, it's because it is. This video is gonna get taken down, I swear to God. Okay, the first red flag was the two messages we got from TikTok. The one when it was leaving said that we're working with President Trump to save it. And the one when we got back saying that President Trump saved it. As of right now, that man is not even president. Joe Biden is still the president. And now comments are being censored by the pound. I just saw a creator's video talking about how every single comment in her comment section, if it involves Trump, if it talks negatively about TikTok at all, she has to approve it. She has thousands and thousands and thousands of comments that she has to manually approve because they're being censored. I don't know if you noticed, but there are no more protest videos. There are protests happening all over the country because of the inauguration tomorrow, and I haven't seen a single damn one of them. But what really, really hit me is that for the past hour, my friends and I have been sharing TikToks into our Messenger group chat, and we've had no problem. Until I sent a video talking about how, I can't remember his name, like Zhao. If you go to his reposts, he's reposting MAGA shit. And I sent that video to our group chat. It didn't send as a link. Every other video I sent as a link to TikTok, but not that one. So I tried it again with the video about the girl with all of her comments being censored, didn't send as a link. Oh, and I'm sure you've noticed that lives are gone, and I'm sitting here scratching my head being like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, why wouldn't we be able to have lives? Is it because you can't censor something that's happening live? I'm being dead ass. What is happening? Oh, I thought I was done. But this is real time. All of my friends in our friend group are talking about it right now. We are all Democrats. We are all proud Trump haters. We are all getting pro-Trump videos on our For You pages. We're so cooked, it's not even funny, bro.
Also, by the way, does anybody realize that, like, lives and shit, like, that whole page is gone? And, like, you know, usually when you scroll through your For You page, like, they'll just kind of, like, come up intermittently. all gone. And there's protests happening everywhere about the inauguration and about our rights to free speech everywhere. But they don't want us to see it. So anybody that's like, thanks, Trump, for bringing it back, and TikTok being like, thanks, Trump, for letting us come back. Yeah, it seems to be with certain conditions as well.
Something is seriously wrong with TikTok ever since it came back from the ban. Pretty much everybody has been pointing out that it feels completely different and like someone did something to it. For some reason, all the videos on the For You page look extremely grainy and low quality. Not to mention the most random verified accounts have been popping up on everyone's FYP, and it's starting to remind everyone of the algorithm on Instagram Reels. To make things worse, the CEO of TikTok just made an Instagram account, and keep in mind that he has never had one before 2 days ago. Almost instantly he was verified, and not to mention Facebook also made their own account on TikTok. So some people are speculating that there might be some sort of merger where Mark Zuckerberg might end up owning a piece of TikTok. Obviously this has people in the comments really upset. I don't think anyone wants this. And the fact that no one is on live anymore because that has not been reinstated for the app. Everyone is convinced that TikTok is now hijacked or something, and the app that we are using right now is not what it once was before.
As you wind up this video, it's important that you look also at what should Americans expect, since they only have 90 days, according to President Trump, that they will be having TikTok on. So what should they be expecting, and when it's back, will they be having TikTok forever, or what to expect? Because from the way things are going, I feel like content will be really filtered in a way on TikTok. So things are about to change kind of completely.
Now that TikTok is back, here's everything you need to know about the next 90 days and whether or not TikTok will stick around for the long haul. Donald Trump has signaled that he will sign an executive order tomorrow to extend the TikTok ban by 90 days. That gives us until April. Now, in that 90 days, TikTok will have to divest from its parent company, ByteDance. The ban is still in effect, but the app will work for now, thankfully. Donald Trump has signaled that he wants to do a somewhat partnership with the United States, where the United States owns 50% of TikTok. It's unclear whether ByteDance will agree to that. Donald Trump has spoken to President Xi of China about TikTok and about the future of this platform. So it's going to be a sprint over the next 90 days. Now, theoretically, Trump can ask Congress to repeal the TikTok ban and keep it here. We know non-enforcement isn't really necessarily an option moving forward. So it's going to be a very busy 90 days. I'm going to be providing you updates every step of the way. So as always, follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. We're back, baby.